this video, we'll be showing you how to save hundreds of dollars on servicing your BMW. We'll be teaching you how to change your spark plugs, change your filters, and in this video, we'll be showing you how to change your oil in your very own driveway. My name is Joshua, and welcome to Car Creations. Now it's time for the oil change, and at BMW it'll probably cost you around $150 to $200. Here the parts cost me like 60 bucks, and yeah, save big money. Let's go through what we need. First of all, you'll need an oil catch container. You'll need the appropriate oil as well as filter and new O-rings, something to remove the oil filter on the top. There is an actual like attachment you can put on a ratchet, but all I have is this. I couldn't get the attachment in time. Flashlight, I'm afraid of the dark, so I like a little flashlight. Gloves, a funnel so you don't pour oil everywhere, rags just in case, and a 17 mil socket. First of all, we are going to open up the hood. Actually, before that, you need to make sure that you've raised the vehicle, which I have already done. Now, we are going to just loosen the filler cap. Don't necessarily need to take it off, just loosen it so we can allow air in there. As well as, this is our oil filter here, so we'll just remove that. So this is a fancy new thingamabob all the kids nowadays are using. It gives me a specific torque, but with this I won't be able to do that. Probably could have done it with my fingers, but this is a lot easier. And if the engine's hot, you don't want to touch your engine. Just kind of loosen this right now to allow airflow in the top so that when we're draining underneath, you have nice laminar flow and it's not spraying everywhere. Oil is leaking, oil everywhere, so just stick a cloth in there. Let's go in. Take all your supplies with you so you don't need to come up for air. I would love a lift one day, that'd be amazing. Okay, so once you're under here, this is the fill plug right here. Oh, kitty, you might not want to be around here right now. There's going to be a little bit of oil. Yeah, you go play. So this is our drain plug right here. In other YouTube videos, I have seen a flap over it. I didn't have that, so I was confused for a little bit. Oof, it's tight. Get out of here, kitty. Bombs away. Ouch. Oh, oil on my face. That didn't feel great. And then you just wait for a few minutes while you wipe scalding oil off of your face. You can actually get a drain plug with a little magnet on the end so you can tell if you have any bits coming off of your engine. Of course, I did forget one thing, which I'll have to get cameraman to grab for me, and that is the new little copper O-ring that goes around here, or brass O-ring. While you're waiting for the last few drops to drain out, you can set your torque wrench. You don't have to use a torque wrench, but I have it here because I'm going to be doing some spark plugs, so why not use it? So I checked and it said 18 foot-pounds, which not very much, but you don't want to over-torque it, otherwise you'll break things, and that's very bad.
I can speak from experience.
You've broken one?
Drain plug on my quad.
Oh my goodness. What did you do?
I stripped it is what I did.
How do you strip it? The plug?
Cross-threaded.
Oh my goodness.
So now it's hanging on by like 2 threads.
Oh my goodness. So, most of it's out, a couple last drops. You just take your new O-ring, put it on there, and just thread it all the way in with your fingers. Don't cross-thread it. Torque this up. There we are. Just a little bit of torque. Doesn't seem like it's very much, but I'll look for a puddle in the morning. If I see a big puddle, I know I messed up. Just kidding. I know it's fine. I've done hundreds of oil changes in my life. Hundreds, if not trillions. The oil's nicely kept in here. Make sure you dispose of it in an environmentally friendly way. Don't forget to fill it back up again. So when you're taking the filter off, make sure you get kind of a lot of rags in there, so that if oil does drip, and it will a little bit, have a catastrophe on your hands. What'll come with the filter, apart from that copper O-ring, which you put on the drain plug, is 2 little rubber ones. One big and one small. The small one goes here, you can see right there, and the big one is right there. First of all, we'll remove the filter. The little O-ring, just gonna get underneath it there with the screwdriver, pop it off, and there's this big one, I think. Swap it out. Make sure you put it on the proper groove, not on one of the threads. Next, we just put our new filter on. There isn't really any specific direction that needs to go, just on, clips on like that, and then you're good. So let's put it back in. Grab a little oil that's sitting in there and just rub it on the O-rings. This is probably the easiest oil filter on all the vehicles I've ever worked on. When you're putting the cap on, it does give a specific torque spec, which if you have the adapter for a ratchet, you can torque it on there to the proper spec. Otherwise, do it on by hand, and you'll feel a definite stopping point, which you can just try to go as tight as much as you can to there. And there we are. Should take 6.5 liters. They sent me 7 liters here, so I'm just gonna start by putting the whole 5-liter jug in there. After you put about 5 liters in, you could probably put 6 in as well. Cap back on. We're gonna start the engine, run it for like 20-30 seconds, and I'll put the remaining oil in. That way it'll let it get around in the engine and it won't overfill the reservoir. And now for the final 1.5 liters. Just before you drop it down, have a quick look underneath after you start the engine and stuff like that, just to make sure there's no extra leaks. And then yeah, you're good to drop it. Just before we finish the oil change here, we're gonna check our oil level. On the iDrive controller here, we'll just go down to vehicle info, vehicle status, engine oil level. We can actually do a check, actually measure it, the measurement. And I'm just gonna go through its sequence here. And look at that, filled it perfectly up to max. Nice, it's good to see. 6.5 liters. And there we are, oil change done. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you found that helpful, and hopefully you too can save lots of money when you change your oil in your own driveway. We'll leave the link in the description to the parts that we use. Make sure you give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe and look out for the next video on how to change your cabin air filter and engine air filter.